with Healthfully Rooted Home, and today I am continuing my homemaking schedules series. And today I'm going to talk to you about my cooking and baking schedules. So if you're cooking from scratch, you kind of need a schedule to make sure that you have everything you need on hand. So for example, if you make your own bone broth, you're going to want to make sure you always have that on hand. If you make your own yogurt, you need to have a schedule for that, sourdough bread, things like that. So I always say cooking from scratch really doesn't take a whole lot more hands-on time, but what it does take is planning ahead. So you need to plan ahead if you're going to cook from scratch. And having a schedule kind of helps you to do that. So if you continue in this series, and I'll link the series below, then I'm also going to share my weekly cleaning schedule, my daily block schedule, and then last week I shared homemaking binder. And so that's just everything I keep in my homemaking binder to make sure my day runs smoothly. So if you continue on with this series, you'll see that my weekly schedule has my cleaning schedule on it, my cooking schedule, activity schedule, things like that. So anything that I do on a weekly basis, I try and keep it on this little magnetic board here. And I'll link this below. I just got it from Amazon. I hang it on my fridge and it's really handy. But I like to correlate my cooking schedule and my cleaning schedule. So if I have a really heavy cleaning day, I'm not going to have a really heavy cooking day, if that makes sense. So I try and kind of inverse those schedules. So let's get into it. In this column here, I have laundry, and then on these corresponding days, I have whose laundry I'm doing that day. The second segment is activity, so whatever activities we have planned that day. Then the next section is food, and that's going to be the section that we're focusing on today. And then I have cleaning, dinner, deep clean, workouts, and some other sections. So I'll go through all the other categories more in depth in my weekly homemaking schedule video, but for today, let's focus on the food section. So when it comes to food, I have just a really general outline of what I like to do on each day. So for example, on Sunday, I have written here breakfast. And so what that might look like is I don't actually food prep or like meal prep really anything other than breakfast, and only sometimes. So I'll make a bunch of breakfast burritos for the week, or a bunch of breakfast sandwiches, or I'll make some yogurt, granola, things like that. So Sundays are my days that I usually always have the Instant Pot out to make homemade yogurt. If we don't have granola, if we're all out of that, I'll make some granola. And then the other thing that I do on Sunday is I pull out all the meat for the week. So I meal plan, and so I know exactly what meat I'm going to use throughout the week. So I can easily just go through my meal plan and look at it and say, okay, I'm going to need chicken, ground beef, pork, whatever it is, and pull all that out, and I put it in a big dish in our fridge. So it makes it super easy to just always have meat defrosted. Now, if you're not a meal planner, that's totally fine. You can still utilize this tip and just take out a variation of proteins every Sunday or whatever day would work for you, and toss them in the fridge. And then that way you always know that you have some kind of meat component or protein component defrosted in the fridge ready for dinner. So that's Sunday. Monday, I get groceries, and this is like a little life hack. If you are able to get groceries on Monday and you have time, I highly recommend doing that, because you're going to save yourself a lot of time, because not a lot of people get groceries on a Monday. People are usually getting groceries on the weekend, or even a Friday is really busy. So if you go grocery shopping on Monday, you'll save yourself some time. So that's what I'll do on Mondays. And then on Mondays, what I will also do is prep all my sourdough for the week. And so what I'll do is I'll just make a big batch of my sourdough loaves, and then I'll put them in the Banneton baskets, toss them in the fridge, and then every day that I want to cook a sourdough loaf, I'll pull out one of the Banneton baskets, score it, bake it, and then there we have our loaf. So I usually do like 2 to 3 loaves per week. And so that just makes it really easy, so I don't have to do any of the stretches and folds or anything like that during the week. So, oh, and then while my sourdough starter is active on Mondays, to make my sourdough loaves, I also like to take advantage of that and make some kind of quick sourdough bread or quick sourdough recipes. So like sourdough muffins, or I don't know, English muffins, something like that I can just do same day. It's not necessarily long fermented, and I can take advantage of a super active and bubbly sourdough starter. Now on Sundays or Mondays, I kind of flip-flop which days I do this. I like to prep any sauces or like aiolis or something like that that would really spice up a bland meal. So during the week while my husband's working and I don't have much help at home, I like to keep dinners really simple and really easy. And unfortunately, sometimes that means they're kind of bland. So to combat that, I will spend just like 5-10 minutes on a Sunday or Monday, and I'll prep a couple sauces. So I have an anchovy aioli recipe on my website. I have a garlic aioli recipe, just really good sauces that easily liven up a meal. I'll prep those on a Sunday or Monday. So for context, my husband has Mondays off, and so he doesn't start work until Tuesday. So he works Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So he has Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. So Sundays and Mondays I use as like my more prep days, heavier cooking days, so that I can take advantage of him being home and having help. And so that is what you'll see on those days. For dinner, I usually like to make something maybe a little more fun, or maybe I'll test a recipe for the blog, or maybe I found a really delicious looking recipe from another blog that I want to try out, and so I'll make that. You know, just make something new, or maybe something that takes a little bit more time to cook. I'll do that on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So yeah, and then so Monday for dinner though, I have to make something that yields enough leftovers for lunch the next day, because that's how we do lunches during the week, is whatever dinner was the night before is lunch the next day. So cook once, eat twice. Now, the only time I don't do that is Saturday and Sunday. Well, no, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because I can always make lunch that afternoon. So that's when I will take advantage of making something that's maybe not very good the next day, like a steak or a salad or something like that. Now, Tuesdays, my husband's at work. It's the start of a week, and I front load my week with my heavy chores. So, you know, vacuuming or cleaning bathrooms, things that take a little bit more time and energy. I like to do that in the beginning of the week, and then taper my chores off as the week goes on. I'll talk more about that in my weekly homemaking schedule video. But because of that, on Tuesdays, I keep cooking and things like that very light, very easy. So the only thing that I like cook on a Tuesday is bone broth, and that takes all of 3 minutes to toss everything in the Instant Pot, set it for like 8 hours, and then forget about it. So that's what I'll do on Tuesday, is make bone broth. And for dinner, I keep it really easy. So I'll maybe just throw a roast, or I'll just roast a whole chicken and have some vegetables, and that's it. And this is probably when I would utilize a sauce or something that I made earlier in the week. Okay, now Wednesday I will make, it's still a heavier chores week. But I will typically make some kind of snack that we can eat throughout the week. So maybe it's like little energy balls or homemade granola bars, or maybe some kind of like cookie or treat. And the reason that I do that is because I like to just have some kind of snack that's homemade that we can snack on throughout the week. But also I will often take whatever that snack is to a play date that we do on Thursday. So every Thursday I try to have some kind of play date scheduled with one of our friends, and that just ensures that I always have something to bring to that play date. And then dinner for Wednesday is always an easy dinner. So again, I just keep that nice and easy. And then Thursdays, since we have our play date on Thursdays, that kind of cuts into the afternoon sometimes. And so I don't have a ton of time to be cooking anything extra. So I usually don't on that day. All right, so Fridays. Fridays are, it's my husband's true Friday at work. So what I like to do on Fridays is make some kind of treat, some kind of dessert. Have cookies made, or some kind of brownies, or something delicious for him to come home to and celebrate the end of a week, and something that we can kind of snack on throughout the weekend. And then, like I said earlier, since I don't have to have lunch for the next day, because the next day is Saturday and my husband's home, and so I have more time in the afternoon to cook, I will sometimes make something on a Friday that's not very good the next day. And then I'll just make lunch again on Saturday. And then on Saturday, that's kind of my catch-all day. So if I didn't have time to make anything throughout the week, I'll do that on a Saturday. Often on Saturdays, I'm testing recipes for the blog. So because I'm a blogger, I'm always cooking something. But I just kind of wanted to give you the general idea of how I keep like the from scratch things on hand. So homemade yogurt, bone broth, sourdough, homemade snacks, desserts, things like that. So I'm really cooking just like one extra thing per day, and not even every day. So one extra thing aside from dinner every day, and you should be able to, cook completely from scratch and not spend a whole lot of extra time if you plan ahead. So there you have it, you guys. That is my cooking and baking schedule for the week. It's pretty simplified, but I have it streamlined so that it works in conjunction with the rest of my schedule. And so I don't feel like, I'm in the kitchen all day long every day. And yeah, so if you guys have any tips for cooking from scratch, that anything that just makes your life easier, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to start a discussion and give each other advice on how to cook from scratch and cook healthy every day without feeling like we're slaving away in the kitchen. All right, thanks so much for watching, and please make sure you stay tuned for the rest of the series.